Hi everybody, and this is what I think every time I say that. Okay, today we're going to talk about your draft. I'm going to show you the rubric, so exactly what I'm looking at, and what I'm hoping is this will take out some of the stress and the questions of what I want you to do. Because what I want you to do, follow some basic guidelines, write the darn paper, have a couple sources, and if you do that, you should get a high grade. And it's also going to be a low point. This is low stakes points wise because for me, a draft, 10 points. Final paper later on, 100 points. Because why am I going to give you something that I put a lot of points on when we haven't talked about it, you haven't seen how I evaluate things, and you haven't got my feedback. So this paper, and this will show you what I'm looking for, will make sure you do get a paper done, and also don't overthink it. Do your best job and put in the work, and then I'll be able to say, hey, look, this part's doing really well. This is where you need to go. So if you do these things, it will move everything along. So this, I've showed it to you. It's just one of those hoops. A super easy way, to get some immediate easy points is make sure you have the header and the page number right. And remember that the date, right, which is in the day, month, year format with the month fully spelled out, is the day that it's due. So if this is due on Monday, you look up Monday's date, and that's what you put in there. So if you have it all correct, full points. If you have 1 to 2 errors, you get a little bit less, and then 3 or more, which is basically, hey, Steve, I didn't watch your videos, I didn't look at the handouts, there'll be a bigger drop. The other works cited thing is in-text citation and works cited. You'll notice it says in-text citations and works cited, mostly correct, and 3 sources. Good, solid, full points. If you've got a few minor errors or you're less than 3 sources, right, then it's going to be a level 2. And then if there's a lot of errors and it starts to get a little bit confusing of how it's set up, and you only have 0 to 1 source, it's more. So I am not looking for perfect. I'm looking for mostly correct, right? And so make sure you go back and you watch the videos. Okay. Thesis and topic sentences, right? Your thesis is your main idea, right? I want you to have one. I'm not going into, is it a great thesis or is it an okay thesis? Do you have a thesis? That is at the end of the introduction, right? Topic sentences. When you watch the video over paragraphs, you'll notice that a topic sentence is at the beginning or the end. What I'll be looking at is, in your paper, do you have a thesis at the end of the introduction that says whatever your paper is about? Trauma, psychological trauma can have long-term effects. Or maybe, and that's good enough. And maybe you do something to leave it more specific, like trauma can have long-term psychological effects that affects relationships. And then you got a whole paper, that's about that. How will I know it's related? I'll look at your topic sentence and say, hey, does this topic sentence, right, relate to the thesis? So if I look at one paragraph and the topic sentence is, trauma has multiple causes, I'm like, and then that's all in that paragraph. I'm like, oh, well, the thesis is talking about trauma. Makes sense that you have a topic sentence about trauma. Then later on, there's another one that says it shows up in relationships in 4 ways. I'm just making this up. But, the thesis says trauma affecting relationships. I can see how they're connected. So I'm not looking for the perfect topic sentence. I'm looking for the connected topic sentence. And your topic sentence should cover what's in the paragraph. And you'll notice right here that I say each topic sentence covers the majority of its paragraph. So if you have a couple lines thrown in that are like, hey, wow, your topic sentence says it's about relationships, and this one actually says maybe it's about the psychological or the neurological chemicals that happen during trauma in the brain. Well, that shouldn't be in there, but if you have 1 or 2 that are in there, fine, full credit, we'll get that in the revision. Now, if there's some paragraphs where I'm like, how's this connected to the thesis, right? Or you don't have the thesis where it's supposed to be, then we're moving to level 2. And then if you combine them, those type of errors, that's level 1. The last thing, word count. 1,000, right? Plus or minus 10%. And actually, like it says, I don't want you to go under, and you will be penalized if you're under the 900, right? Because we need stuff to work at. You can go over a little bit. You can actually go over up to 29% over, which would be like 1,290 words. So you can go over a little bit. I'd rather have you cut down. But if you're near it, perfect. If it's 10 to 20% under or more than 30 over, then okay, middle of the road. And then if it's much longer or much shorter, then it's going to be level 1. So that's the criteria. Write it, put your thoughts down, make sure you have those 3 sources. Your ideas are connected as well as you can make them, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be getting 8, 9, 10 out of 10. And then, because what's way more important than the points that you get on this is that you have a thesis with an idea, topic sentence that are related to that cover this paragraph, and 3 sources that you're bringing in. One of them, of course, will most likely be one of the stories from This Way for the Gas, and then 2 others which, based on your research, could be a movie you brought in, could be one of those articles. And at this stage, right, you can definitely go over on sources, if you want. I wouldn't go crazy. If you've got 7, 8 sources, that's probably too much. But I'm thinking 3 to 5 range is usually pretty good. But as far as grading, you'll lose points if you don't have 3, right? Because I do want to make sure that you're looking around and finding other sources. All right, I hope this helps you. See, this is what the rubric's going to be that I'll grade your draft in, and really do the best you can, put your thoughts out there, and then we'll have time to go over and see what we can revise and how we can make these papers stronger. Bye, everybody.